Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Cresandra Washington. Are you a recent graduate and finding it challenging to enter into the workforce? Well, stay tuned because I have a few tips that may help you reach success in this area of entering the workforce. Hi, I'm Dr. Cresandra Washington, and I want to talk to my recent college graduates on this evening. I saw a new segment that talked about the recent graduates of this year, 2024, having a challenge of finding work, and the unemployment rate was high, and but jobs are available. Well, I want to take this opportunity to share with you some things that I did when I graduated from college. And this happened back in the 90s when I first graduated from with my bachelor's degree and also with my master's degree. So I want to share some things with you that I did that worked for me and have worked for me over the years, even when I was relocating to another area or just re-entering the workforce after being gone for a certain period of time. I want to jump right into it. So first, I want to encourage you to keep an open mind and a good attitude. The energy you project is what will come back to you. So you have to keep an open mind and a good attitude. So the first thing that I want to say to you is do not be married to your field or industry. Sometimes we feel like because I have a degree in business administration, I have a degree in engineering, or I have a degree in art. Whatever the degree may be in, don't just be married to that field or industry because it's all right to start out in something else. Just because you have an aspiration or a plan in this field doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. But you may have to be open-minded and make some adjustments to your plan to get started, to get the income and the money coming in. The next thing I want to encourage you to do, which I'm sure a lot of our millennials are already doing, is to use social media to develop and market your skills. Now, you should be very good at this because all you need is your phone. An iPhone or Android will allow you to create videos to talk about what it is that you can do or to display on social media or show what it is that you can do. Don't be afraid to do that. I know sometimes we're not quick to get on social media. Some of us don't like the camera, don't like talking, but use social media to your advantage and use it to market your skills and to show people what you can do. And then fourthly, be open to entry level positions. When I first graduated from college with my bachelor's degree, I had great aspirations and plans of what kind of job I wanted and how much money I was going to make. Well, I was in for a rude awakening because it did not start out that way for me. Now, it started out that way for a lot of people, but that was not my reality. So I had to be willing to start out in a smaller position, and I want to encourage you not to dismiss small beginnings. Don't despise small beginnings. Just because it's an entry level position doesn't mean that that is how your career is going to span, or your work is going to continue throughout your life. The entry level position is just what it says. It is an entry level position. It allows you to get your foot in the door. So if you have an opportunity to take an entry level position that may not pay you the money that you want at this moment, don't turn it down. Take the opportunity to get your foot in the door and do the best work that you can. Let your work speak for you, and it will give you the opportunity to be promoted, to market yourself even more, and to learn new skills. One thing that I found that employers wanted to do or we're looking for are people who are teachable. So just because the job is not in your field or in your industry doesn't mean that you should take it. And just because it's an entry level position, don't dismiss it, because guess what? That will give you the opportunity to learn new skills, to learn other things. Employers are looking for someone who's teachable. You may not have the experience that they're looking for, and even if you read a job description and you don't fit the responsibilities or duties, go ahead and apply anyway, because guess what? Most employers are going to teach you and train you anyway. So I want to encourage you to not dismiss that entry level position, and don't dismiss a job just because you don't have the skills or is not in your field. And then also look into temporary or staffing agencies. This was one of my big go-tos whenever I moved to another state, and when I was re-entering in the workforce after being out for a year or two. I went to a staffing agency. I registered at a staffing agency. And staffing agencies, some of them specialize in different things. Some of them specialize in healthcare. Some of them specialize in business, administrative work. Whatever the industry is, or whatever the staffing agency offer, sign up for a staffing agency. Some of them also uh, specialize in trades or manufacturing. Go to those staffing agencies and apply and register with them, and let them do the footwork of finding you a place to work. And for me, I know I did this when I moved to a big city. When I moved to a big city twice, I registered at a staffing agency, and they found work for me in some of the best companies and corporations. And when I got into those positions, I did my work to the best of my ability. I worked in excellence. And guess what? Both of those times, those jobs turned into permanent employment for me. One of the jobs I stayed on turned into permanent employment. I stayed there for 12 years. So do not despise small beginnings, and do not just close your mind to different things. You got to be creative. You got to think. You got to be open. And staffing and temporary agencies are good places to start. And then I want to encourage you to look into contacting people you know. Contact people you know. Contact your former professors. Ask them if they know of any positions that are open. I have a dear friend who's often on the podcast with me. She's a transformation coach. She's a business coach and a life coach. Her first job was a recommendation from one of her professors, and it allowed her to work for the federal government, allowed her to work out of the country for 5 years, and established her as a college graduate, going into the workforce, entering into adulthood, being on her own. And it was a very prosperous and a very wonderful opportunity and place of employment. She got to travel throughout Europe. She got a chance to be able to bless her family, her parents. So it turned out to be very good for her. And as a matter of fact, my very first job that I got when I finished college came through my pastor. My pastor referred me, or called in a favor from a friend. He called and got me my very first job, because I did not have much work experience when I graduated with my bachelor's degree. So contact people you know. Even your parents or your relatives may have connections with people who have their own businesses, or have connections with people who are in places of leadership, who can open the door for you to get the work that you need to get started and to build your career. And then I want to encourage you to volunteer. Volunteer for agencies or nonprofits, to network, to learn, to build communication skills, to build relationships throughout the community and other areas. When you volunteer, you give yourself the opportunity to get to know your community, to get to know businesses and organizations within the community and surrounding areas, and to build relationships, to network. So do not be afraid of volunteer. If you're not working, do that anyway. Do not sit idle, be at home, and don't sit around, thinking the worst. But like I said at the very beginning, keep a good attitude and an open mind. And volunteering is a very good way to build the relationships, to network with businesses and organizations in your community and in the surrounding areas. Another thing that you can do is offer free services. If you know that you are excellent at what you do, if you're very good at what you do, then offer your services and your time. It's almost like volunteering, but even, do what I'm doing. Get on YouTube, share information, share skills, share knowledge, show how to do some things. If you're very good at accounting, or if you're very good at business, whatever it is that you're good at, get on YouTube or get on social media platforms, TikTok, and just share some quick tips, share some information, share things that you have to offer that can benefit someone else, that can help someone else. So be willing to offer free services. Consider contractual work. People are always looking for somebody to do some things for them for a short period of times. Maybe it may be for a week or two or a month. And this is similar to this temporary agencies or staffing agencies, but consider contractual work. Look into the school systems. Look with the federal government. Look for organizations who have subcontracting work. And this would be a good time for you to start a business. This will be a good way to enter into the workforce and start entrepreneurship or start a business. Offer your services for free and look into doing contractual work also. Let them know, the school system is always looking for services. School systems are looking for motivational speakers. If you love working with youth, look into some of the nonprofit organizations. Look into the federal government. Look into the local government. Things that you can do to provide a service or provide a product that will make people's life better, help them to accomplish the things that they want to accomplish. And at the same time, you will be doing some things for yourself. You will be opening the door and the opportunity to create income for yourself. So I want you to think about these things, because when I saw that news segment, I said, I remember those days. I remember those days when I had graduated from college and I was out in the workforce putting in applications, and it seemed like no doors would open. So I had to, that taught me that you have to be creative. Don't just look at the traditional way of going onto websites, company websites, looking at their job announcements and just putting in applications, but do other things as well to give yourself the leverage and opportunity to start creating income when you graduate from college. So I want to go back through these things with you one more time. Keep an open mind and a good attitude. You will be amazed at how the energy that you have draw things to you. So don't sit around moping and talking negative out of your mouth. Make the decision that I'm going to do what I need to do to be able to move forward and move into the workforce. So have a good attitude, and people notice that. People can pick that up. Your attitude says a lot about you. It says a lot about your personality. It says a lot about your being open and willing to make adjustments and being able to deal with challenges. Secondly, I want to remind you, don't be married to your field or your industry. Don't say, that's not what I went to school for, or I don't work in that area. It's just an opportunity to get started so that you can start getting some income coming in. Use social media. I know we are always on social media. If you have a phone, if you in this day and time, most of us are on social media and on some platform, whether it's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Use those mediums for your advantage. Make them work for you, and even YouTube generates money for you. You know, there are certain there are requirements that you have to meet, but I'm pretty sure that you have the skills and abilities to make it work for you. Be open to entry level positions. I'm just going through these things one more time. Be open to entry level positions. There's a scripture that says, don't despise small beginnings. Don't have the attitude that that you're too proud, that you can't humble yourself to start at a lower job than what you imagine. So many people who are CEOs now, who are uh, owners of corporations, who are filmmakers, who are doing exceptional and wonderful things, all talk about how they started out in small beginnings, started out as waiters and waitresses, who started out as administrative assistants, who started out as executive assistants, who started out in lower level management. So don't be afraid, or don't despise or dismiss entry level positions, because they actually can be a stepping stool for you to go where you want to be. Staffing agencies are wonderful, and there are so many of them who are excellent at what they do. Just choose wisely and go in with the mind that I don't lose focus of your goal. This is just a stepping stone for me. And staffing agencies and temporary agencies can turn into permanent employment for you. Contact people you know. I know you know someone. My parents knew a lot of people. My pastors knew a lot of people. My former professors knew people. Even when I just graduated with my PhD a couple of years ago, almost 2 years ago now, my professors reached out to me with opportunities and directed me to places that I could go to immediately to teach, or to do contractual work, to do temporary work, uh, whatever was open and available that they knew about it. They will often send me opportunities, or offer to talk to someone for me, to give me the opportunity to get my foot in the door, to be able to move forward and use the degree that I have. And I'm going to tell you, you need support, you need assistance. So don't be afraid to open your mouth and ask. If they don't contact you, you contact them. And then also volunteer. Nothing is beneath you. Once again, I want to say, humble yourself. Don't be so proud that you say that I can't do this or I can't do that, and it doesn't pay any money. Don't worry about that. What you're trying to do is build a relationship and network and get the opportunity to find out about positions. Because I'm going to tell you this, all organizations don't always advertise positions that they have open. Sometimes, they have positions available, but they're just not posted. So volunteer so that you can find out things that are going on with the different organizations and being able to network. And don't be afraid to offer free services. You know that you're good at something, and you need people to know what you have to offer. You need people to know what you can do, your skills. Do things for free. Say, hey, look, I can do this for you. Let me show you that what I can do and how I can help make life easier for you and make your business better. People will be open to that, and that can open the door for you to work for that organization, or either, as I said, to start a business for yourself, being an entrepreneur, doing contractual work, being an independent contractor, or becoming an entrepreneur. So I want to encourage you to be open, and don't sweat about it. Don't be stressed out about it, because there are things that you can do in this day and time. There are things that you can do to make money there, and to make money in a legitimate, legal professional, wonderful way. So I want you to be open to those things. And I want you to try these tips because they have worked for me. And there are other people that I know have used these small tips to use these strategies, and it worked for them. And they're doing wonderfully well in their career and in the workforce. So to my recent graduates, I want to say congratulations on your accomplishment, and congratulations on becoming a young adult and moving into independence and becoming and setting your mark on the world and in the world. We look forward to what you have to offer, and I look forward to your just doing great and wonderful things. Give me a comments below if these tips have helped you. Have a great and wonderful evening.